There's 6 tomatoes chopped, ginger chopped, a whole clove of garlic chopped, 7 or 8 green chilies, bit of salt, bit of turmeric, bit of ground coriander, bit of chili powder.
Lemon juice?
Lemon juice, correct. Water, oil. Just added a bit of saffron. And now I just need to blend. I may not have chosen the absolute best day for this luncheon adventure. However, adopt, adapt and improvise. We have ignition. Oh, well, that fits nicely. That's a bonus. The things I do. Okay, well, you're not going to see too much of this, unfortunately, because the camera angle sucks. But the thing is lit. The pan is on.
I am very much looking forward to seeing what food this chap actually makes because, well, for one thing, I am very, very hungry indeed.
Steaming water. Oh, pardon fingers, they are clean. Right, there we go. Okay, the Momo are steaming nicely. I'm very happy with that. Okay, the Momos are steaming. The chutney is deployed. The table is laid. Mustard is hungry.
Yes, I
Rinto's there. Have you got your tea?
No, I drunk it.
Oh.
But he's coming at me with a stick now.
Stick?
Well, a fork. A fork with no
Fork?
prongs. It's like a cross between a fork and a spoon.
What is this, viewers? You all know what it is, and I suspect he does too. He's just playing silly buggers. What is it, boy? What is it?
Spatula.
Correct.
Oh yeah, gosh.
Da, 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 da.
I must say it's a very big plate for the size of the food.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Right. That's an interesting...
Unless you have some potatoes in that second level.
It's interesting that you said that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because you like a big plate, don't you?
No, because you are going to look slightly foolish.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, what's new? Right, wait a minute. Am I having all these?
Yeah.
Ah, right. That's why there's 2 levels.
Ah.
Wow. With this food, Boaty's really treating me.
There's no fooling you, is there?
No, no. That makes it quite a lot after all.
I have found that the correct number is a baker's dozen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Momo.
Any less is a slight disappointment.
Right. Any more?
Is
Too many?
gluttony.
Nah, yeah, see, that does fill the plate up nicely. I see that now. I see some, what are those things? Spring onion. That's it, got it. I thought there were green peppers to start with then.
works quite well, I find.
What if I end up wanting this next week as well?
You'd better learn how to make it, because it'll be your turn.
What if I don't want any black pepper on it, and I feel that I should taste it first?
It needs black pepper.
Does it?
Trust me. I made it, I know what it needs.
Oh.
I made it, I season it. And I can be quicker, because I can use my fingers, because it's my food.
Yeah, and you clean your fingers anyway.
Oh, it's turned you off. Thank you, little stove. You've done wonderfully well.
Yes. I'll tell you what.
Oh, and thank you, Matthew. Thank you for the gas.
I was going to say that.
Thank you very much.
I'll let you do it. FSM.
Yep. Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Oh, that's who you mean, right?
The one true Lord and Saviour.
Yes.
Now these will take as much black pepper as you care to give them.
Oh really? Well, I'm a very big fan of black pepper.
I know this.
So I didn't know that FSM was an initialism of your particular...
Acronym.
No, it's not an acronym.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
How is it?
An acronym is where you have the initials that make up a word. Like NASA.
NASA isn't a word. It's an acronym.
It's an acronym. NASA is an acronym, but it spells out a word that people use.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. NASA.
Okay, so what does NASA mean?
Something about...
No, not what does it stand for as an acronym. What does it mean as a word?
Yes, I know. I'm just trying to remember.
It doesn't mean anything. It's not a word. It's merely an acronym.
Yeah, but it's an acronym of the 4 letters that mean...
Yeah, that's what an acronym is, isn't it?
Yeah, but SM isn't. SMN isn't.
FSO is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It can't be.
It's exactly the same thing.
It's not.
It's the initial letters of 3 words.
But it has to spell out a word.
Same as NASA. No, it doesn't.
Why don't we start our lunch with an argument?
Because NASA is not a word. It's an acronym. It's a spoken acronym.
But you say it as NASA.
And you say FSM as FSM. Neither are words, they're acronyms.
No.
Same as scuba is an acronym, and
you need to.
Quango.
Quango's an acronym.
Yeah. Quasi-autonomous non-governmental organisation.
Yeah, that was a good way to start your dinner. Now.
Oh, Grace.
But yes. Do you want to do it this time then?
No, you can do it.
I can't. I've only got one arm.
Okay. For what we are about to receive, may we be truly thankful and send our grateful thanks to the FSM and pray that both we and our friends have the great good fortune to be touched by his noodly appendage. Ramen. Right, tuck in, dear boy, tuck in.
Yes, this does look like it's going to be rather nice. So, best that be. Thank you very much for my little dinner. Now then, do you eat this with the sauce or can you eat it without? Or?
Your choice. Oh, that's good.
You know, you said it's got a flavour to it that you have never tasted before. You're right. It does.
Some of the spicing in the Momo itself is literally not available in the UK.
I'm going to take a moment to say something serious here. This is really good. I knew it was going to be good, but I wasn't. What's that black thing in there? What is it? Mushroom?
No mushrooms in there.
What is it?
Won't do you any harm.
What is that? It's a very kind of surprised me. Is it something I wouldn't normally eat?
Yep.
What is it? You're not going to tell me?
No.
Why? Because it'll put me off?
Yep.
Because it can't?
Yeah. Mmm. This is the most expensive lunch we've ever had.
Red onion. Just, they look kind of fleshy.
I know, it was just amusing me that you were. If we ordered this in the restaurant, then these two dishes would cost £36.
Quite a bit.
Plus the tip. Plus the tip. This chutney is mega.
Yeah, right, it is. We're doing a bit less talking than normal, actually.
We are, aren't we? And eating a bit more decorously.
Big chunks of ginger in there.
And I didn't fully whiz it, blend it.
No.
Try and leave a bit of texture.
As you say,
Take as much as you like, it will.
I love black pepper.
Don't you?
What would you have thought if I took one bite of it and just said, oh no, I don't like this?
I'd have thought, brilliant, I can eat it.
So you wouldn't have been disappointed.
No. I thought you'd probably like it because, in all honesty, what's not to like? The only thing that will put anybody off is the spice level. And I know that you can take spice.
Well, I mean, it's not too spicy, is it?
Oh. But for somebody like Matthew, it would be.
Would it?
Oh yeah.
How do you know? Has he told you?
Yeah, he's made it very clear that everything I cook would blow his bum off. Even my beans on toast would bugger him up because I use a lot of white pepper.
White pepper versus black pepper.
We have done this.
Have we?
You put white pepper on a cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
I have a weird memory for the inconsequential.
Yeah. Well, I remember that now. I don't remember us having a conversation about it, though.
I was going down the what do you use white pepper for? You were saying how much you love black pepper. And I said, is there anything that you would use white pepper instead of black pepper?
Yeah, that and a jus.
Oh, low battery.
Oh no.
Don't run out on me. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I tell you what. We'll do a phone swap. We'll do a mid-lunch phone swap. Bear with. Okay. And we're back on the new phone. Hello.
I have eaten almost, well, half of the momos. Hang on, is that half? Yeah, more than half.
Oh, you've gone heavy on the chutney, haven't you?
Yeah, I've gone heavy on that. which does tell you that you don't have to be fearful of spicy things in my company. I think that's what it means anyway. Did I ever tell you my kebab story?
Maybe not.
I'll tell you now.
Unless it was the one where you found the what's it in it.
No. That's one of my kebab stories, but I have more than one.
Oh.
1990, this one's from.
Oh.
And did the traditional go to the kebab shop on the way home from the pub. And in the kebab shop, I said I wanted a kebab, but I also said that it's a pity they're not a bit more spicy. Yeah. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that, because he said, "Oh, I can make it a bit more spicy for you." And I had this kebab at home, and the next day I suffered all day with it in such a way that I wouldn't really want to talk about over lunch, even though I am doing. I wonder if it's be alright with that now, because it was like I didn't really know what was going to happen. They just poured loads and loads of chilli sauce in it. Still ate it all.
I'm not a fan of artificial heat. That's why I couldn't eat the European style curries, Madras or Vindaloo, because the way that they add the heat to it, it's just dried chilli flake.
Yeah.
And the only difference with the dishes is the amount of that they chuck in. And it's a harsh, naive, unpleasant spice heat that only touches one part of the palate and it's pointless. Don't like it. Whereas the food that we cook and eat, the spice heat is created by building layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of different herbs and spices.
Yeah.
Over a period of time as well.
Yeah.
And so it's got that massive spice heat, but it goes all through your palate and it's got a really lovely lingering aftertaste.
Yeah, that certainly does. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Spice pronunciation.
Oh,
I say cumin. Some say cumin. Which one do you reckon is correct?
cumin.
Yeah, me too. I say turmeric. Some say turmeric. Which one do you say?
Honestly, I've said both.
Well, me too, just then.
And it would be a lottery as to which came out at any one time. And I don't know which is correct.
Well, you know anything where there's, where you hear two different pronunciations of the same word? The one that you use is always the correct one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's simply the answer. So you don't have to be knowledgeable to be correct. Have you finished?
Bye-bye. No, I'm pausing.
Licorice or licorice?
Licorice.
Yeah.
Okay. Bottom or baton?
Baton.
I was at at school with a girl called Kerry O'Neill. Hi, if you're watching, how you doing? Hope life has gone well for you. And it was spelled onion.
What was the name again?
Onion.
An iron. So why was that then?
If I worked for those carpet fitters, or if I was part of the management team and my surname was War and I had a son, I'd call him Walter.
Walter Walt?
Yeah.
There you go. No, stop that, it's silly.
Walter War. Okay, it's the last Momo. It's a sad moment.
It's the last Momo in town.
But it's also a time to celebrate the joy of what I consider to be the best lunch in the world. Now then, on Monday we ate what I consider to be the best kebab in the world. Is this scores out of 10? What would you give this, and what would you give the Istanbul kebab?
Well, the Istanbul kebab is, as far as I see, about as good as you get from a kebab.
Agreed.
But I prefer this.
Really? Ooh, a convert.
Yeah, this is more interesting. Without without really trying to be somehow. It's like just there's loads of flavour there without loads and loads of different things you can see.
Yeah, they look really humble and basic. It's what I've always said, that as I've been around the world, the best food, wherever you go, the best food is the peasant food.
Yeah.
Or the street food. It's like, I mean, if you came to England, I reckon if you forgot about restaurants or, you know, perceived value or poshness or being in the right place at the right time, if you had to say what your favourite food was, I bet it would be fish and chips.
Mine?
Anybody.
Oh.
If anybody came to England and ate English food...
They'd assume that our favourite food is fish and chips.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I think that if they came to England for a year,
Yeah.
and lived like we do, did whatever, then if you asked them what their favourite food was, just in terms of eating the food, not the whole ambience or experience or anything, just the food, I reckon their favourite would be fish and chips. Which goes towards my argument that the best food in any country
Is the food that comes
is
from there.
the peasant food or the street food or the, rather than the
I'm going to do the same
posh
thing
super duper stuff.
with my dirty fingers.
Too good not to. Has to be done. Now, if I was at home, viewers, I'm not going to lie to you, I'd lick the plate.
Gosh, I haven't done that in ages. I don't waste my food, but I never lick plates either.
We have a thing at work that if you don't lick the last of the Momo chutney off the plate, you're disrespecting the history and joy.
Because it's basically a peasant food, so you can't waste it. I think the same thing about yogurts.
In Nepal, it's like the ultimate street food. Everywhere you go, you can buy it.
Would it be as good as that?
Probably better.
Would you enjoy travelling for the food alone?
I'm not the right person to ask because all of my travelling was done alone. All the time, all the different countries and different continents I've lived in, I did it alone.
No. I don't mean. Would you like to go by yourself? I mean, would you enjoy the travel just for the food?
When you said alone, that kind of threw me because I thought you meant alone.
Yeah, it took me a while to catch up.
Just for the food. Probably, yeah. But it tends to just factor into the mix, doesn't it? Or you'll find other things. It's like, I went on a foodie pilgrimage to San Sebastian in the Black Country, which at the time had 3 of the 5 world's best restaurants within like a 5-mile radius of each other, and I wanted to go and eat at all of them. But when you got there, you found that it was amazing for other things, and I discovered my favourite hotel in the world, and I discovered it had a funicular railway.
Back on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, food factors into it, doesn't it? I mean, food is like probably the ultimate cultural icon, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, what else identifies a country as readily as food?
Flag.
I mean, yeah, okay. Well, okay. If I gave you a bowl of chili and tacos, what country would you say I was telling you?
Mexico.
If I showed you the Mexican flag, would you know it?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, so.
I wouldn't. I've got no idea what the Mexican flag
I
is.
wondered if this is what you were going to say, actually, that people don't know flags, but they know the food.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try another one then. What about somewhere like you know what, you might be right actually, I suppose, with some of this. But the trouble is, a lot of Asian dishes, most people wouldn't be able to differentiate which country they've actually come from.
True.
So what do you reckon the majority of people would think where it came from? Because Nepal's a very lonely little country, isn't it? It's only got a mountain and that's it.
It's only got a mountain. Yeah.
That mountain's so big, there can't really be anything left in the
If
country.
you're only going to have a mountain, they've chosen the right one, haven't they?
Well, yeah, obviously.
I mean, I think if you just showed people the dumplings, then they'd probably assume they were gyoza,
I don't.
and they'd think that they were Chinese.
I think Chinese is probably where most people would go for.
Yeah.
Can you remember what the Chinese flag looks like?
No. Oh, it's rising. Oh no, it's Japan.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got a clue.
Italy.
It's a tricolour, isn't it, the Italian flag?
A tricolour.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Tricolour, 3 colours.
Oh, right. Oh, tricolour, tricolour, yeah. I get that now.
Green, white and red.
Yeah. Can you name an Italian dish?
Yeah.
What?
Palo alla Vesuvia.
See, now, anybody else would just say, oh, pizza. Where did pizza come from, though? Is it just
China.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it is the Italian thing anyway.
And some people would say spaghetti bolognese, and that's totally not Italian. You try getting a spaghetti bolognese in Italy, can't.
About fish and chips.
Probably.
You'd have to, wouldn't you, really? I bet any English-speaking country is going to have, well, it's not an English-speaking country, but anywhere that has an awful lot of English-speaking people there. You'd imagine they're going to have fish and chip shops as well.
It's amazing what you find. It's like going back to my foodie cultural pilgrimage to San Sebastian. So I ate in these 3 of the 5 best Michelin-starred restaurants, and then on the 4th day, and they're all sort of up on the top. On the 4th day, I went down into the town, and I found this fabulous little kebab shop run by a guy from Bradford. And that became the thing, because it became an annual thing, that trip. And you ate at the 3 nice restaurants, and then on the 4th night, you went to the kebab shop and got this filthy, dirty kebab, took it back to this beautiful hotel and ate it in bed in these crisp, expensive sheets, and it was wonderful. God, I miss doing that. If I ever get money again, I'm going back to doing that road trip annually. You come with me. We'll do it together. It's a brilliant road trip. You drive down the never eat shredded wheat down the west coast of France, and you have either 1 or 2 stopovers depending on how hard you want to go with it. But I used to stop in. I used to have an early stop sometimes in Valence-sur-Mer, or maybe Bayeux. And then the second stop is always La Rochelle, which is lovely. And then you have 4 nights at the Hotel Monte Gueldo, superb hotel. And you do the posh restaurants, then you have the kebab, and then you drive back inland. And the last stop is at Le Mans, where I set the Welsh record at Le Mans for a lap of the Hotel Ibis car park.
On what?
What do you mean on what?
On foot? On a bike?
In a Lexus LS 400.
Right. What, they encourage that kind of thing in the car park, do they?
Well, I didn't give them the option not to. I just set about it.
And they knew. Did they know that it set this world record?
No.
Are you in the Guinness Book of Records?
No.
Would you like to be?
Yes. And it was at that place.
Do you reckon Jim will fix that for you?
Oh dear. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. It was the Ibis Hotel. It wasn't that one. But this is what I love about the French, and why I adore France. Because although I've travelled like everywhere, you don't need to go anywhere other than France. France has everything that you need for any sort of holiday destination. You can do everything. You can go to a beautiful beach, you can go to an amazing cultural city, you can ski, you can do anything you want, and you're never more than 3 feet from an ashtray. And so at some point in between trips, they introduced the smoking ban indoors, like everywhere else. And I hadn't realised, so rock up to the Ibis Hotel, whichever one it was, the first one of that trip. And I say, room, blah, 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 in French, obviously. And I ask for a smoking room. And they say, I'm sorry, monsieur, that since the new legislation, we do not have smoking rooms. And I sort of said, quel disaster. And he said, yes, sir. I regret it will be necessary for you to open the window and stand near it while smoking. And I thought, this is why I love France. That is so the attitude to have. And I like Italy for similar reasons. Italians believe that you can have as many laws as you like as long as you don't try to enforce them. And I love that guy that Clarkson's mate, who asked about some of the British habits, and he couldn't understand that the British would, if you're at a red light and there's nothing coming, the British would sit there until the light went green. He said that is an act of monumental stupidity. If there's nothing coming, go.
Yeah, well, that is that's something I'd like to see happen. The only trouble with it is, I think it's down to others' judgment of whether anything really is coming or not. Because once you actually start to do that, then something can be coming, but it's far enough away to actually go through. And then you get more this kind of collisions happening because both people thought it was safe to go.
That is the only cultural thing that America has added to the world.
Yeah, the turn left thing.
Yeah, well,
Or turn right.
turn right.
Yeah.
You can turn right at a red light. And I thought Robin was winding me up the first time she told me that. I thought she was trying to get me to do something stupid so I got into trouble.
Well, is that the kind of thing that would happen?
Yeah, women do that sort of thing. My first Chinese fiancée,
For you.
I've had a few. The first one, we had a flat, we were living in London, in West Ealing, and I was commuting from West Ealing to Birmingham every day, 7 days a week. Wasn't fun.
Oh, that's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the train?
No, driving. I knew every square centimetre of the M40.
Yeah. Yeah, because you'd stopped and looked at it.
But anyway, obviously we used to go to Chinatown, and I try to be respectful of other cultures and whatnot. And so even if I'm not in the country, even if I'm just in their restaurant, I always want to speak a few words of their language. So I asked Layun to teach me the basics that I would need. You know, just a simple thank you, so that when the waitress brings something, you can say thank you. I said, so how do I say thank you? And she said, it's difficult. I said, try me. She said, what? I go, what? I need. What I need. Okay. And practice what I need. What I need. Brings the food. Nice little waitress. What I need. Looked at me, gone out. Of course, I told her I loved her, hadn't I? And she told me all of this bullshit. She said, I said, how do I say my name is Jason? Jason? Jason. Jason means goodbye. She well and truly fucked me up. But an interesting thing I did learn about that, she was my first Chinese fiancée, and she was actually the daughter of the Chinese ambassador in London. She was a barrister, but she was from Beijing. And my second Chinese fiancée was from Shanghai. Now, Chinese, as you probably think of it, is Mandarin, or in Mandarin it's Pohantwa, and that literally means the common language. So the idea is that in China you have one language that everybody speaks, and then regional languages.
Yeah.
But you have one common language that's the same for everybody, and it's not. So I'd learned my Mandarin eventually properly from Layun, who's from Beijing, and then when I later was with a girl from Shanghai, she said, why are you speaking Beijing Mandarin? And it's not a common language at all. It's picked up all of the regional variations. That's interesting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Tell you what else is interesting.
You've got to go.
Very soon, it's 2:30.
Oh God, it's 2:30. Doesn't time
2:30.
fly? Of course, I was late getting here today. Should we wrap this up at that?
Yeah.
Right, thank you guys, and let's just show you the remnants of all of this.
And thank you, Boaty, for such a lovely meal.
You're very welcome.
Very lovely indeed.
Okay, tune in next time for Mustard and Boaty do lunch.
Lunch.